These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon. We hope they come out tonight, frankly.
What's going on, guys? Today has been a glorious day. Donald Trump was cooking today. It was Inauguration Day and MLK Day. And, of course, the fake news and liberals are freaking out about literally everything, including things that Donald Trump said that he was going to do, like over and over and over again. Meanwhile, you got Joe Biden doing things that he said he wasn't going to do over and over again, like, for example, pardoning Dr. Fauci, Liz Cheney, the entire January 6th committee, his entire family, and so forth.
Flashback.
President Trump is reportedly considering a wave of preemptive pardons. Does this concern you? All these preemptive pardons?
Well, it concerns me in terms of what kind of precedent it sets and how the rest of the world looks at us as a nation of laws and justice. You're not going to see in our administration that kind of approach to pardons.
A few moments later.
President of the United States for now, Joe Biden, he was busy this morning signing a number of pardons. He issued preemptive pardons to Congresswoman Liz Cheney, General Mark Milley, and Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Everybody, how about this J6 committee? Why is he pardoning them? The reason is because if you delete and destroy documentation, everything, they have nothing because they were guilty as hell. They rigged it. It was a rigged deal. And when you do that, they look very bad, but I was a little surprised he did it. Liz Cheney, I mean, she's a lunatic. And she lost by the greatest margin in the history of a politician running for Congress, like 40 points. The reason it was the greatest is because anybody losing that badly is going to drop out. But she's a nut job. She doesn't drop out. You know, she just keeps chugging forward. And she lost by almost 40 points. That's the biggest number anybody's ever lost by. But why would Biden do that? He pardoned her and pardoned everybody. The reason is that they destroyed documents. And if you're even in a civil case, which this wouldn't be, I mean, people go to jail for a long time for doing that.
Meanwhile, you had Donald Trump, again, doing what he said he was going to do, which was close the border, stop radical gender ideology, and one of the most important things is free the hostages, the J6 hostages, to be specific for those who might be confused about the folks over in Israel or Gaza, for example. No, I'm talking about the J6ers, okay, because Donald Trump has literally pardoned, not commuted, but pardoned over 1,500 sentences.
First, we have a list of pardons and commutations relating to events that occurred on January 6, 2021.
Okay, and how many people was this?
I think this order will apply to approximately 1,500 people, sir.
So this is January 6th, and these are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
Full pardon or commutation?
Full pardon. We have about 6 commutations in there where we're doing further research.
Okay.
Nice to see you again.
And you, sir.
So this is a big one. Anything you want to explain about this? We hope they get them. We hope they come out tonight, frankly. We're expecting it. Approximately 1,500 people. Six commutations.
Okay, these people are getting out of jail probably almost immediately because he already signed the paperwork and the fake news is freaking the hell out about it.
Well, watching Donald Trump's day today, I'm just struck by the fact that we have a president again. I mean, look at this guy's day. 3 speeches, 196 executive actions, holds a 90-minute press conference narrating each one as he goes along. I mean, Joe Biden could not and would not offer the kind of transparency or vigor to the American people that we got here on day one from Trump. And tonight, Trump's going to throw on a tux and go to 3 balls. I mean, he's having an active day. I think it's going to be a massive amount of contrast here for a presidency like what we're going to see out of Trump and versus what we've had out of Biden. I was watching Trump today, and Van and I were talking earlier today, watching him walk down the hall of the Capitol, and the words that came to mind to me were gritty, resilient, determined, and audacious. There's not like a more perfect advertisement for the value of these qualities in modern America. I mean, you think about all the things that happened to him. Winning, losing, the court cases, nearly being assassinated. It's rather audacious what he has accomplished, winning this election and taking office today. And you said you were in shock. Well, Republicans are in awe.
What about the pardons? What's your take on that?
Here's what I think. Were these people punished? Yes. Were they ruined financially? Yes. Did they spend time in jail? Yes. Have their lives been ruined? Absolutely. And one of you said earlier, Van or Axe, that you think this sends a terrible signal that you can get away with things like this, as though we've never had a moment in recent American history when people were not punished for rampaging around when they shouldn't have been. It was the summer of 2020. And these people were actually punished. Those people were never even charged.
That's not true at all.
That's not true. Most charges were not.
Let him answer. But I do see it differently in that I don't like it when people tear up buildings at all. I'm not a part of some pro-riot, pro-crime lobby. But I really don't like when people attack police officers. I really don't like it at all. I'm the son of a police officer. My uncle's a police officer. I don't like it at all. If you attack a police officer, before you get any lenience or before you get any support from this society, you should apologize. And they didn't. And that's wrong. And you yourself and others said you would have a problem if the violent ones were let go.
I concede it. I agree.
And that's my problem tonight.
I agree. I don't like the idea specifically the people that attack police. I'm in agreement with you on that. But I do think it is important to note that these people, whatever they did, whether it was just accidentally walking in or doing something much, much worse, Elliot, you can correct me if I'm wrong, most of them, if not all of them, did get punished, serve some kind of time. And my assumption is virtually all of them have had their lives effectively ruined by this.
I thought there were hundreds of them who have not actually been tried yet.
Several hundreds. But I think it's around 300 who haven't gone to trial yet.
I don't know, Scott. We sat here together after January 6th, and you were eloquent about how you felt about what you saw. And I felt the same way. And again, I'll go back to the point I made before. I think there were people there who were bent on violence. There were people there who belonged to white nationalist organizations. Leaders of them were among those who's had their sentences commuted or they were pardoned tonight. We'll see when all the smoke clears how they're classified. But that wasn't just, I think assaulting police officers was, an egregious affront. But assaulting the process of certifying a free and fair election was also an egregious affront. Rampaging through a building that you and I both revere was an egregious affront. And so, for the president to call them hostages and to essentially blanket excuse their behavior is part and parcel of the original sin, which was his assertion without evidence that he continues to this day to say that that election was stolen from him. They were actually acting on his representations. So, I think the whole thing, I agree he was energetic today. He projected the message he wanted to on a whole range of issues. He showed his stamina. You're going to have to stop living off of Joe Biden after a while here. But all of that is true. But there's a reason why they waited until the end of the day after the news, the evening news and so on. He didn't do it in front of the crowd at the arena. He went back to the White House later in the evening so it wouldn't dominate the coverage all day long. They knew. He didn't mention it in his inaugural speech. 57% of Americans said they disapprove of this when they were asked by the Wall Street Journal. 50 of them strongly disapproved. So I'll give him credit for political courage, I guess, because he did something that was deeply unpopular here by paroling these people. But there's really no way to justify it. And the fact that he showed a lot of stamina today doesn't really.
I want to hear from Aaron because we haven't
trick.
heard from Aaron. What do you think?
I think if you're part of the Trump team that's now in the White House today, that shock and awe, this big delivery today of all the executive actions, but J6 especially, those pardons, this is exactly what Donald Trump said they were going to do. That is going to be the Trump team stance coming out of today. They're going to be like, you wanted us to come in and get out of the Paris Climate Accord. He has been talking about the J6 detainees, hostages, whatever language he has been using about them the entire time. He used this on the campaign trail. And so today he walked in the White House and he did exactly what he said he was going to do. So if you're the Trump team, yeah, I do think they're going to have a hard time coming out of this, especially with those who assaulted police officers or committed violent crimes. That's going to be very tough for them to try and say, hey, listen, we just went for it. I think this is the hard part for them. But right now, their messaging is going to be, we did exactly what we said we would do, day one.
Besides the fact that these people, who most of whom are pretty innocent, even if they say, oh, they got into fights with police officers, here's the thing that they're leaving out. Now, let's say a police officer just walks up to you and then they just conk you in the head with a baton. And then you get mad and you're like, hey, stop conking me with that baton. You push them, right? Or they try to keep doing it. You grab it to try to stop them. That counts as fighting with police officers. There's nuance behind these cases. Just saying, oh, you attacked a police officer, that doesn't really mean anything by itself. So this whole situation, I say water under the bridge. A lot of these people are first-time offenders. They didn't even do anything their whole life. Some of these people are old as freaking dirt, didn't even do anything their whole life, but all of a sudden, because of this one day, their life's ruined. They act like they went on some sort of killing spree, or they actually intended to truly usurp the government and have a true insurrection, which was always false to begin with. It was all a bunch of political nonsense in theater so that the Democrats could weaponize it and stay in power. I'm glad he pardoned all the January 6ers. F all of this stuff. Well, what about the people who were violent? People are violent all the time. What happened to all the people in the BLM protest? What happened to all the people with those college encampments? You know that majority of those people, they let go, right? They terrorized colleges. People paid tens of thousands, in some cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And people terrorized the colleges, wouldn't let some students walk across the campus, wouldn't let them get to their class, terrorizing teachers and staff, shutting down buildings. And guess what? And fighting, you guessed it, police officers. And that's all on video. You could clearly see it. And it was a lot of damn people doing it, way more people doing that than all the people combined on J6. And it seemed like the left and the liberals have no problem with that. They got no problem with Liz Cheney being pardoned, Biden's whole family being pardoned, Dr. Fauci being pardoned, Adam Shifty Schiff, right? They got no problem with that. But then you pardon the J6ers and, oh my gosh, they start clutching their pearls like idiots. I'm so sick of the hypocrisy. As far as I'm concerned, if they want to have well, Trump is so bad, we need to kind of Trump bends the rules, so we need to bend them too. No. What's going to happen here is things are just going to get so off the rails because Democrats are so crazy. Then you really are going to give Trump the ability to go wild and go nuts and do whatever the hell he wants, because for every single thing that Trump has been accused of, weaponizing the justice system against his political opponents, doing pardons or preemptive pardons or whatever the hell he's being accused of, he can literally say, well, you guys did this and you guys did that, and give specific examples. With Trump is all of this hyperbolic, like stuff that doesn't even exist, things that they think that he's going to do, or they predict he's going to do, or he's so unhinged, whatever. It's like in their brain. It's just in their mind. It's Trump derangement. When it comes to the radical left, there's clear examples of using weaponization. There's so many cases against Trump, it's easy to lose count. They charge all of these people on Jan 6. Some of them didn't even actually get a trial, but they've been in jail the entire time because they consider them too dangerous to release. People, again, who have never committed any other crimes in their life besides maybe speeding tickets or some nonsense. Does this seem fair and not politically motivated to you? I don't think that Trump thinks so, which is why he's right to pardon all of these people. It was a good move, and he signed all of these different executive orders. I hope he signs them every damn day of his presidency, because I'm tired of the radical left. I'm tired of the excuses. I'm tired of the gaslight. Them, they get to pardon anybody. They get to commit any crime they want. They get to weaponize the justice system. They get to take people off the ballot. They get to disenfranchise Americans, get rid of our free speech, our First Amendment rights. They're trying to get rid of the Second Amendment rights. They're trying to get rid of every damn thing. Our ability to make money in the country, what it means to be a citizen versus a non-citizen. These people are corrupt as hell, and they deserve to get their ass beat during this election, which I'm so glad that Kamala lost. So freaking glad that Joe Biden got smoked and uppercutted in the debate against Trump. And I'm so glad that these hostages for Jan 6 were free. Thank you, President Trump. We mother loving did it. Stop messing with Teflon Don. Stop messing with our constitutional rights. Stop trying to persecute your political opponents. Stop the lying. Stop the gaslighting. Then maybe you'll stand a chance and you won't get your ass kicked next time. But these are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all watching Black Anomaly Rising channel. This is going to be an amazing next 4 years. I hope you liberals are ready. I'm out.
Some have even finished their prison terms. Others, though, have yet to begin them. One example of that, Larry Brock from Grapevine. The Air Force veteran was among those who made it to the floor of the U.S. Senate. He has appealed his 2-year prison sentence and remains out while that gets settled. When I reached him on the phone today, he laughed, wished me a good day, and hung up.
We hope they come out tonight, frankly.